So I thought I'd go through the Pluto phases, through the zodiac. Pluto phases Pluto minus 135 in each sign. Right now it's at Virgo, uh, entered in 2017 and it'll end in 2032. So I'm going to go through all the events since 1137. Start with Aleppo earthquake, Commune of Rome, First Gothic Church, Second Crusade. All these events will have a Capricorn twist to it. Earthquake. It's Capricorn is an earth sign. Aleppo earthquake was a huge earthquake, probably one of the biggest. And this is like coming together of people, Commune of Rome. And this is Gothic church, first Gothic church, because Gothic architecture was very influential. The first Gothic church in Capricorn is the seed, that's why it's at the bottom. This is the first sign. Yes, Aries is the first sign above the ground. This is below the ground, the first sign, the seed stage. This is the seed stage. This is the sprouting stage. This is the watering stage. And this is the Aries is spring stage, the first day of spring. Like that it goes. So the next one is Aquarius. Here it will be in Aquarius. It is going to be rebellion, chaos, things like that. Because Aquarius is unstable. Seed is unstable. It breaks up in the Aquarius sign. So we have Sicily earthquake, Third Crusade, Norman invasion of Ireland, medieval Inquisition. People are spreading out, getting dissatisfied with being, this is comfortable, but you can't stay in that seed stage. You have to grow. Then again collapse and then grow, continues. And then the next one is Pisces. Pisces will be like watery, um, a lot of self-sacrifice, a lot of beautiful music. People will be in a dreamlike state. All these things would have been in that time. And there will be a lot of death as well. So that's why Genghis Khan, siege of Constantinople, Fourth Crusade, all this is there here. Then next one, Aries, or Fifth Crusade. This Aries will be warlike, fearless. First Baron's War, Magna Carta, Llewellyn the Great, Dominican Order, Golden Bull of 1222, Mongol invasion of Rus. That's the Aries phase, and that ends in 1226 and 1227. Taurus phase. Taurus will be like Earth-like, very much more calmer, but there will be an assassinations, and because of the star Algol in Taurus towards the end. Anyways, on the whole, it'll be like related to food and good times, and doing what you like, sensuous and stuff, things like that. So, well, and it'll be peaceful. Comparatively, it'll be peaceful. So you have Sixth Crusade, Treaty of Paris, University of Toulouse established. So, more things would have happened, but this is what I could find. Anyway, next is Gemini. Here it would be, learning, debating, law, court, lawyers, judges, and again rebellion like Aquarius, because both are air signs. I have found Mongol invasion of Europe. I mean, that's the instability. Order of Saint Augustine. That's also again breaking away from the Catholic Church. I think. Yeah. Then Seventh Crusade again. Going and going into foreign lands and finding more things to do. Then here we have the peak of civilization, and from here it will be collapse. Oh, in Leo will be the maximum moon, but in behind the scenes things are collapsing from here onwards. So you try to make things look pretty, so it still looks like it's going well, but actually it's collapsing. And the real collapse has starts from here in Libra. So in Cancer, it will be a watery sign, so it will be all dreamlike and like Pisces. There'll also be a lot of death and tears and all that. So Otakar 3 of Bohemia, Kublai Khan is a fearsome warrior. Then Thomas Aquinas, Summa contra Gentiles. It will be a emotional, deep kind of work like the movie Matrix in our recent Cancer phase. Then the next sign is Leo. It will be exuberant, uh, positive, optimistic kind of time. So we have Second Baron's War, Battle of Xiangyang, Roger Bacon's Opus Measures, Eighth Crusade, Marco Polo in Asia, exploring, things like that. Ninth Crusade, Mongol invasion of Japan, and Anasazi drought. Towards the end, it will become very difficult. There will be difficult natural events in the Leo phase. Next one is Virgo. Virgo will be calmer time where things they say calm down, what the hell, because it's gone too far in Leo, and it'll be analyzing, and there will be consequences to the over extension of Virgo. Basically, that's how it is. One sign will overextend, and next will contract, then the next will overextend. But Leo will overextend the most, as we all know that Leo overextends. Then Virgo Habsburg dynasty, a very powerful dynasty that exists to this day, I think. I mean, some form or the other. Uh, During this time, it was a huge, major dynasty. Sicilian Vespers rebellion. There will be rebellions in Virgo because Virgo squares Gemini. The things that happened here will be extended to the max in Virgo. Watermark technology, because Virgo is about copyrights and securing all the creativity of the Leo phase. Saint Lucia's flood. That's the consequences of overextending Leo phase. There will be a lot of population growth in Leo phase, and that will most likely have been at the riverbanks, and that during this flood, a lot of people would have died, or a lot of damage would have happened to all the creative works that they've done, building stuff or whatever. Then the expulsion of Jews from England. And then, okay, during Leo phase, it's a very accepting, open-minded time. Virgo, Virgo phase, there won't be that much acceptance. So they would start expelling, they would start finding fault, because after Leo, things are not going as well as uh, it used to in Leo. I mean, in Virgo. So they'll need somebody to blame. They'll start blaming Jews, saying blaming somebody or the other. That's what happens. So next. Oh, First War of Scottish Independence. There you go. You say um, good times are over. So, I mean, all the treaties that we said were in the Leo phase. Went along with it because there were good times. No more good times. No more treaties. Independence for us, and off they go. But actually, independence happens here. Most of the independence happens in Aries because Aries is the independence sign. A lot of the independence happens here, and uh, this is the next fire sign. So here there will be a lot of nationalism, which is built upon the independence of this sign. You can see that in the next cycle, where a lot of countries like India and China get independence in Aries phase, and then the nationalism is during the 2000s and 2010s in Leo phase. It will be extended, overextended. Well, that would have happened here as well. Then, First War of Scottish Independence. Usually, all of this would have a Virgo theme to it. Um, and this would have been because of some lack of food or famine or things like that, because food is not as plentiful towards the end, especially the Virgo phase. In Libra, it will be like they'll try to calm down things. They'll try to say, okay, don't hassle, we can live together, or be nice to each other. Or that so Libra is like the diplomatic sign. Well, there you go. First one, Florence money, first international currency. Um, Renaissance. Okay, it's also the creative. So again, now they're again getting a little optimistic. Uh, After the Leo, Virgo was, dampened down optimism. Now Libra, it's again coming back. A well-defined system of weights and measures, because Libra's symbol is scales. It's about balancing things. So this system is used till this day, if I'm not mistaken. Then Lincoln Cathedral, tallest building, because it will be very harmonious, very beautiful. It will be a very uh, very inspiring building. There will be a lot of architecture during this time that is beautiful and harmonious. Basically, what it's trying to do is calm down the people, because things are not as good as it used to be in the Leo phase. That's what Libra is all about. Think. Knights Templar disbanded. uh, I mean, that's because they want peace in Libra. Libra is the sign of peace. Great famine. Well, the famine returns towards the end. Uh, Pound inflation. Inflation happens. Serious inflation, because everything you believed in the Leo phase. I mean, things they would have expanded the money supply to, calm down the people, and then obviously inflation happens, because no amount of money would be enough to buy the things you need when there's too much money floating around. Just like they did in the Leo phase that we just came out of, there would be expansion. all the fire signs and air signs. Okay, next one is Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of death, famine, plagues, etc. So there you go. Byzantine Civil War. It's the darkest time. It's the middle of autumn. Here you go. This much is autumn. These three signs. And here would be winter. Scorpio, Ibn Battuta travels. We would no doubt seen a lot of horrible things in his travels. Invasion of England, it would be very bloody and horrible. Second War of Scottish Independence, again would be bloody. Great Chinese Famine, bubonic plague. Oh, that doesn't need any. It was one of the most horrific things in history. Bubonic plague. The 100 Years' War begins. There you go. The next one is Sagittarius, and this is like trying to be optimistic in the worst of times. And they will travel and try to learn and try to figure out why all this is happening. So, influence identified Hanseatic League, um, Ming Dynasty, Turco-Mongol Empire. Look at that. It's like they're trying to include people, Turco-Mongol Empire, because Sagittarius is inclusive. Papal schism, too many popes around, I think. Peasants revolt towards the end. Sagittarius is a fire sign and there will be excesses, so there will be a revolt, especially towards the end. Next sign again, it repeats. Like I said, Capricorn is the seed. Bastille prison is completed. Look at the very bottom, a prison is made. You see how this is famous. Probably Bastille is the most famous prison. It's a French prison. It's there in a lot of stories. I forgot Alexander Dumas' Hunchback. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think that is. Look at the bottom, Capricorn. These three signs are winter. So Capricorn is the first sign of winter. And from here on, you build up, and the whole thing starts. Canterbury Tales. See, there are a lot of fairy tales and nursery rhymes and all these things that start in Capricorn. Tamerlane's Last Conquest. House of Medici. This is a famous thing. This was established in Capricorn. Younger Encyclopedia. And towards the end, especially, there will be like a compressing of all that was learned through the entire previous cycle. That's what Capricorn does. The entire previous 11 signs are compressed into Capricorn. It forms a strong seed. The next one is Aquarius. So Aquarius is rebellious, like I said. Forbidden City in China, Beijing. First patent issued. That's invention. Aquarius is inventive. The Joan of Arc rebellion. There you go. Then next one is Pisces. Incan Empire in Peru. Oh, that was a sign of a lot of death. There was a lot of sacrifice in the Incas did. About child sacrifice, I think, human sacrifice. Then that's because they were only during this time they would have done that. Maybe they were like a Pisces kind of civilization, and they did it all the time. But see, Incan Empire started in 1438. So, I mean, during this time they would have been extremely uh, barbaric. Last siege of Constantinople. Okay, Constantinople was under siege many times because it could not be oh, brought down. This is the last siege. Would have been especially bloody. Pisces is the sign of death. Scorpio is the sign of death, but Pisces also. All the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. But Scorpio and Pisces especially. Then the printing press, because Pisces, you would need the printing press to put people in a dreamlike state. You would need them to read about, and what the printing press did was sell religion, which is a Pisces thing, and send, give people access to religion, the Bible mainly. So, Vlad the Impaler, oh my god, Vlad the Impaler, he used to impale hundreds of, I think thousands of people and put them on sticks. Oh, that was horrific. Wars of the Roses, and I don't remember that. Again, but that's again war. Gutenberg Bible, obviously religion in Pisces. The next one is Aries. Like before, it's warlike. It's going to be independence and things like that. Moroccan Revolt, Battle of Mortimer's Cross, University of Basel. It's also about learning. Fire signs are about learning and knowledge. First book printed in France. Next one, Taurus. First book printed in English. Canon of Medicine, a Vatican Library, Treaty of Constantinople, Spanish Inquisition. Towards the end, it would become a little bloody because of this star Algol in Taurus. First book printed in English. I mean, Taurus is the next Earth sign, so this is also compressing the next. The Taurus compresses the previous three signs. What they've done. So, I mean, the books help to compress knowledge. So these books, the library, and Spanish Inquisition, there will be coming. In every earth sign, there will be a removal of the things that you don't need, and compressing the things that you need. Virgo is the final earth sign. That's where the culling is the most. Has to be the most, because by then there will be a lot of undesirable stuff. Anyway, next one is Gemini. There will be rebellion and things like that. There will be learning. There will be experimentation. Yeah. So sweating sickness, Fish Hunter's Manual, Leonardo da Vinci's Experiments, Columbus in America, Cornish. That was the peak of this phase. Towards the peak, they made the big accomplishment. It's Columbus is in America, Cornish rebellion in Gemini. Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, first African slaves in America. Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, Michelangelo's David, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. So Cancer is a water sign. It would be religious. It would be, pacifist. Uh, there will also be a lot of death and things like that. So you have all these religious themed stuff, and it's also self-sacrifice. That's why the African slaves. Oh, 1498 is right in between Gemini and Cancer. Is the peak Vasco da Gama reaches India. That's the real achievement here. Finally reached India. They would have tried a lot. Okay. Next one is Leo, the most exuberant time. Machiavelli's The Prince, the creativity, uh, Martin Luther's Reformation, Aztec Empire, Spanish conquest, Spanish conquest, Ottoman Empire, Magellan, Magellan circumnavigates the globe. Okay, so all this shows the exuberant nature of Leo, and as well as the creativity. The Ottoman Empire would be a very extravagant, magnanimous empire. So that would be like the uh, cherry on top of the cake of this cycle. And then the collapse begins. And Virgo phase will be like, calm down. It's gone too far. And some culling, etc. So, Church of England branches off from the Roman Catholic Church, which would have gone a little too far, probably in some things, some respects. So, this was born. Then Sir Thomas More executed for speaking out against the king. Thomas Cromwell executed. Portuguese Inquisition. Uh, Europe heat wave gets, and so there you go. They were try to trying to do get rid of people during this time. Thomas More was an honorable person as far as history tells us. So, I mean, that was a very bad thing, um, as far as I understand. Thomas Cromwell also executed. This is really bad stuff happens in Virgo. It's bad when good people get the brunt of it. But I mean, no, at least, you know, death is not the end. I mean, he was able to make a point. The next one is Libra. Libra is about balance and justice. So here, Copernicus gets the universe right in the heliocentric system. Ivan the Terrible, horrible people. Nostradamus' first almanac. This happens because we have entered autumn. Terrible people start popping up. Nostradamus' first almanac. I'm not sure, but I think Nostradamus was. Okay, was a Sagittarius, which sextiles Libra, and it is in the uh, autumn season. So, and he probably had. I don't want to go into it, but probably he had planets in air signs or in Libra itself. Probably had a moon in Libra. I mean, this is how I think. I can't go into every single thing. Anyways, I'll go on with this. Grammar scores. Libra is about grammar, and Libras are very good at grammar and language. All the air signs are good at language. Shanxi earthquake, Spain, bankruptcy. There you go, bankruptcy again, just like the pound inflation here. Uh, I guess in the first sign of autumn, Libra, all the major financial collapses that everybody is expecting to happen, but it's not happening so far because we have just entered Virgo. It might take up to Libra to start things to start happening, but Virgo is also culling time, so it could start happening in Virgo itself. But they could extend things till Libra. It is possible to the end of Libra, in fact, because that's what's happened in the previous two cycles. But I strongly believe it could happen in Virgo this time. Anyway, next one is Dutch War of Independence, Massacre of Novograd, Saint Bartholomew's Massacre, Kokolisli epidemic, Pope Gregory XIII calendar, Spanish Armada, Scorpio, sign of death, sign of massacres, epidemics, etc., etc. There you go. Sagittarius, expansive, Shakespeare's Hamlet. How can you go wrong there? Expansive, philosophical, Sagittarius. Uh, Everything is done in a grand scale. You want to forget about all the death in the Scorpio time. So, all the positivity. We want also to figure out what happened. So there you go, Galileo telescope. Don Quixote, Don Quixote. Huguenot rebellions, law of refraction. There you go. It's about learning, exploring, uh, also rebelling. Then Capricorn, you compress everything that happened in the previous previous 11 signs. On the decade 1626 it starts, so 1650, 1630. Deccan famine, 1637. Descartes' Discours de la méthode. English Civil War, Yellow River flood, culling, getting rid of the unwanted stuff. That's what all this is. Yellow River flood, then Taj Mahal. I mean, we had Ottoman Empire in the Leo phase, and now it's been crystallized into something. Everything about the Ottoman Empire, and all the other stuff that happened in the previous 11 signs is getting crystallized into Taj Mahal in the middle of the Capricorn phase. Russo-Polish War. Not sure what that war is about, but it would have a Capricorn twist to it. Happens in the cold countries at least. Pendulum clock. Capricorn is about time. So there you go, pendulum clock was invented. Next, Aquarius, rebelling, discoveries, inventions, modern banknotes. Robert Hooke discovers cells, living cells, human, animal, plant. Great Plague of London, Great Fire of London, Milton's Paradise Lost, microscope. There you go, that's the inventing, discovery part. This is the chaos and the mayhem of Aquarius. The next one is Pisces, Great Turkish War, death. Pisces is about death and self-sacrifice and also figuring out the deep mysteries of life. Leibniz calculus, Newton's theory of gravity, Jacobite risings, Locke's human understanding. These Leibniz calculus, Newton's theory of gravity, and Locke's human understanding. This is about uh, finding the deep, exploring the deep mysteries of life. That's what happens in the Pisces phase. The next Pisces phase, there would be Einstein will discover the theory of relativity, and we'll go there in time. So, War of the Spanish Succession would be pretty bloody, full of death and self-sacrifice. Next one is Aries. Great Britain created. See, wow, Great Britain was created in this independent sign of Aries that went on to rule during this time. Tuscarora War Stamp Act. Worry, um, putting your name and face on everything. That's what a stamp does. That's what Aries does. Aries wants to put its name on everything. Handles water music. It's musical, it's creative sign. Voltaire, all this independent thinking. And Robinson Crusoe, typical Aries, went and got deserted on an island and did weird things there. Next one is Taurus. It will be calmed down. It will be about compressing everything in the previous three signs. Treaty of the Hague, a treaty, a signature on something. Let's put something on it. Um, then it's musical. Bach's Brandenburg concertos. Russo-Persian War, Treaty of Constantinople, again a signature on something. Gulliver's Travels, that's a creative thing. You're writing down everything that you learned in the travels. There you go. Next one is Gemini. It will be a rebellious time. Molasses Act, probably to put down some rebellion. Canton uh, system on nature, that was learning about something, learning about the natural world. Austro-Russian Turkish War, rebellion, Batavia massacre, rebellion, Handel's Messiah, creativity, and the peak of creativity happens here. Handel's Messiah. Then Dagohoy rebellion happens. There you go. The next one, Cancer, would be calmer time, but full of death and self-sacrifice. Dagohoy rebellion, Euler's differential calculus, finding the truths about life. Philosophia, Botanica, Jacobite rebellion, Johnson's English dictionary. Um, that's because 1755, yeah, towards the end, because we are entering the Leo phase here. It's all about creativity. Industrial Revolution, Rousseau's Social Contract, Mozart's First Symphony. American Revolution, there was a lot of creativity in that too, right? What's steam engine? So, an extremely creative and magnificent time, Leo. especially Mozart's symphonies. Then Virgo, and you'll need to calm down because there will be excesses during the Leo phase and the consequences in the Virgo phase too. Great Bengal famine, Russian plague, US independence because of the excesses of the British, wealth of nation, US constitution putting signature on something just like the Taurus phase. There you go. It's the next earth sign. And Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. That's creative writing. You compress the knowledge of the previous three signs. Then next is Libra. It's about justice, obviously French Revolution, rights of women, smallpox vaccine, preventing diseases. Because of the Virgo phase, there would have been plagues here. And Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, because it's a harmonious sign. Libra is about harmony. Next one is Scorpio. It's about death, self-sacrifice, disease, plagues, Battle of Waterloo, death. Bolivar defeats Spanish. Niepce's first photograph. The photograph is an extremely water sign activity. Photographs, movies, things like that. Because it's an emotional thing. So you have the first photograph here. Slavery abolished in the British Empire. And finally, the emotions overpowered the slavery in the British Empire. Then the next one is Sagittarius, learning, discovery, exploration. The first anesthetic was used. Darwin's Origin of Species published. Linnaeus' internal combustion engine. Pasteur's germ theory. Karl Marx Das Kapital. That was the bottom. That was the compression of everything of the previous 11 signs. Bell patents telephone. In a way, our entire present civilization starts from Karl Marx Das Kapital. Even though we say we are capitalistic, I have a strong suspicion that we are actually communist. Isn't everything communist or socialistic today? Isn't everything about rights? It's so strange. You try to be capitalist, and in reality, you have all become socialist. Alright, I don't know what all this means. I would say it would be selfishness versus others. And that's what you can't go in either direction for too long. So it's been all about rights. The next entire cycle is all about human rights. And the germ of that is by the seed is Karl Marx's Das Kapital. Okay, next one. Bell patents telephone. Well, here you have the seeds for the entire civilization that we are in now. Telephone, Edison's light, Europe colonizes Africa, first skyscraper, motion pictures, and radio. I mean, these are, I guess, you have all the things needed for today's civilization. Everything, the seed of everything, beginning with the light bulb and the telephone, the skyscraper, and the radio. Soon, Not sure when the TV was invented, but it was somewhere around here. Says Russian Vladimir Zworykin applied for a patent for electron scanning tube, a part that could be considered to be the heart of television, in 1923 already, but could not get his television to work until 1934. So 1923 and 34, well, that would be Aquarius. So, I mean, but the basic seed is already here. You need the light bulb first, you need telephone, and all these technologies come together in the TV and goes on from there. Okay, Aquarius is about invention and rebellion. So Wright brothers invent the airplane, Einstein discovers relativity, US Federal Reserve is born, World War One, rebellion, Bolshevik Revolution, Big Bang Theory was invented. Then penicillin, global depression, World War Two. The depression happened in the Pisces phase, obviously, so much death and tears. Atom bomb dropped, computer, and the United Nations. So this Pisces phase was go watch the movies, listen to the songs. You'll see how Pisces, like everything, is. It's very musical, very beautiful time, but it's also very self-sacrificial time. Without all that music, and all that beautiful feeling, people wouldn't go and kill themselves. There you go. Next is Aries, and fiery time now. It's about individuality, independence, communist China, India. Okay, India was born in 1947, towards the end of the Pisces phase. And then in Aries, there will be wars, Vietnam War, DNA structure, there will be discoveries, USA racial desegregation, it will be open like Leo phase that's coming up. Sputnik 1 was launched. Next Taurus phase, walked on the moon. Land, moon is land. Taurus is an earth sign. There we get more land. Walked on the moon. Not sure how much of that is true, but at least that was the consciousness at that time. More land. Then internet then was invented. Internet is a very good place for Taurus activities. Then oil glut. Well, too much oil production because you're going into the ground too much. Earth sign Taurus. Mobile phone invented. Microsoft was born, Apple was born towards the end. Oh, these are very beautiful, very very magical times because Taurus compresses the previous three signs. We had all these inventions and things, and everything was compressed into what? Apple and Microsoft. All these inventions that we had in our civilization, it was compressed into, towards the end, into these two companies. And then we have Gemini, where they say, okay, now we've done great things, now let's relax and rebel and do whatever the hell we want. Also, there will be inventive, so smallpox eradicated, AIDS discovered. There's too much rebellion, too much lack of control during this time. Chernobyl disaster happens. Tiananmen Square protests, fall of communism, Berlin Wall collapses. I mean, here Das Kapital is born, and here communism collapses. See how it happens? Well, that cycle breaks over there, and then now 1990 Gulf War, the capitalist nation USA starts a war which it shouldn't start. Go, maybe it should. I mean, anyway, wars shouldn't happen anyways. 1990 Gulf War, it's at the peak. So after that, Soviet Union breaks up. Apartheid ends. Cloned sheep dolly. Google 9/11 attacks. So it's a very dreamy, uh, theory, emotional time. It's about family and things like that. Well, the 90s. And we had all those family sitcoms, Seinfeld and Simpsons and all that. Then we have the Leo phase, which is an exuberant, uh, magnificent time. So you have Facebook, Indian Ocean tsunami happens because big things happen during this time, massive things. An iPhone is released. I won't call it an invention. Recession happens, okay. Then towards the middle, that is 2008, it would have gone too far and bad things start happening. Then Arab Spring, that's exuberance of Leo. Then in 2016, Brexit begins and it's still going on. And there will be, just like in the worker phases before, there will be a calming down of things. There will be bad things that happen to calm you down if you don't calm down on your own. There will be signatures put to things. There will be treaties. And like in all the earth signs. And it will be a compression of all the things that happened in the previous times, like all these protests and eradication of smallpox, AIDS. So, we've done a lot of things, right? We think this is the peak of civilization. It feels to me too like it's the peak, but it's a cycle only. Hey, I'm sure in the previous Leo phase they thought we were the greatest. They thought probably better than us. But it's gonna end. So that's it. That's my explanation of the journey of Pluto minus 135 through the zodiac from the year 1137 onwards. I've gone before that to many years BC, but the history would be, a little less trustworthy. So thank you for listening. I hope this has helped you understand history, helped you see history the way I see it. For me, this is like explains everything. I'm not going to lie. Explains everything, and this is like the best thing that I have discovered. And I hope it helps you understand this world the way it helps me understand. So have a nice day. Bye.